Be alive. Yay! So, guys, please give me a few minutes. Let me share this live session. Not fair. Or Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So I believe you can all hear me. Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday to you all. Please, if you can hear me, can you put it in the comment section? So I'm sure that the comment section is working. Yeah, the comment section. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's working. So if you can hear me, can you please put it in the comment section? And can you please do me a favor? Share this section, share it, use the share button to share it, invite your friends, invite your loved ones, invite all the parents in your circle, bring them along, let's learn together. Let's learn parenting. So last week, how are we all doing? How are we all doing? How's been your day? How was service today? So last week we talked about the power of childhood. So today we're going to be talking about the parenting advantage. The parenting advantage. And we'll be looking at what it really means to give your child a parenting advantage. Also, we'll be looking at the different forms of parenting advantage or different forms of advantage every child needs, and as well as how to intentionally create an advantage for your child. Also, we're going to look at like what's it again? Someone asked me this question while I was discussing when we're talking about parenting advantage and all that, and she said, "Is it possible for me alone as a parent to give my child the gift of a parenting advantage?" So we're also going to look at it. How is it really possible? Can you alone as a parent, mother, father, can you give your child that gift of parenting advantage all by yourself? We're going to look at that, and also we're going to look at why giving your child the parenting advantage, why it really matters. Because the truth is, when the when the importance of a thing is not known, abuse is what? Abuse is inevitable. So it will be important for us to even know why we should do it. So now, when we talk about parenting advantage, what comes to your mind? What is that thing? For me, I see it as like you all know that I'm an advocate for breast milk and breastfeeding, right? I believe so much in it. And one of the things I know about it is about what? Is about giving your child a healthy start. It's about laying the right foundation for your child, isn't it? So the same thing is applicable with giving your child a parenting advantage. Giving your child parenting advantage is about giving your child a right foundation, a good foundation for them, to take a good foundation in their childhood that they can take to adulthood. Giving your child a parenting advantage, I call it like I see it as a precious gift every child needs. It's a gift that you see, even money, you can't buy it. Every child needs it, and every child deserves it. And it's important you and I give our children that gift of a parenting advantage. Now let's see, what does it mean to give your child parenting advantage? Or what does parenting advantage, what does it truly mean? I have here, I said, It simply means your child is who they are. Your child, your boy child, your female child is who he or she is because you gave birth to them. It's simply who your child is because of the foundation you laid for them, or you are laying for them, or you've laid for them. It's simply the head start you intentionally create for your child's life. Parenting advantage is giving them skills, environments, mindsets, exposure, emotional strength to set them up to thrive long even after you have gone. And they also can pass it, and they also will pass it on to their children. Now let's see. So it is the foundation you lay for your children. It is the foundation you lay for them. It is those things that you do for them. That is what parenting advantage means. Now, if you check my flyer, you will see that I use them. What's her name? Regina Daniels, right? And I use that not because I want to just use her. I use that because when it comes to parenting advantage, many of us we didn't have it. Even though some parents actually give their children the gift of parenting advantage, while so many didn't have it. And one of the person which I always say didn't have it was Regina Daniels. She didn't have that parenting advantage in the sense that she was not prepared. She didn't have the she wasn't prepared as a child, to know what to look out for in a man. Because if she had a parenting advantage, as beautiful as she is, as young as she is, as a star that she is, because every child is a star, she will not go for not the first wife, not the second wife, not the third wife, not the fourth wife, not the fifth wife, the sixth wife. According to her, yes, she loved the man. She actually loved the man. If she had a parenting advantage, she would know what true love actually means. She will understand what to look out for, before saying, yes, I do. She will know the signs, she will know what to look out for. She will not just, dabble into it and just say, oh, yes. No, she will know when, she will know that she even deserves more than she got for herself, or she will know, she'll be able to make the right decisions for herself. She will know because her parenting advantage would have prepared. Remember, we said is the foundation, is the head start that you give your child, right? So she would have had all those foundations, should have been taught all of those things to look out for before making that kind of decision. She would have known that, oh no, this is not for me. She will know what she wants immediately. She didn't have it. And also in the area of parentification as well, she didn't have it. If she had a parenting advantage, she will not be parentified as a child. She will not be taking the role of a parent as a child that she is. So she did not have it. And also, there's a story of a girl. I think I wrote it on my Facebook page. What's her name? Is it Ochanya? The 14 years old girl, that passed because a father and a son, abused her sexually. If that girl had a parenting advantage, she will not, she will not, like, there are some situations you find yourself, fine, you may not be able to help it, but then the parenting advantage would have prepared her, to be able to speak up. She didn't speak up. According to the story, she was still seeing her mom. I think they said she sees her mom every month. She didn't tell her mom. Meaning, because why did she not? Perhaps she didn't have the confidence to speak up. Probably as a child or growing up, at home before she left her home for the family that she went to. She was already always, maybe you are not good enough, beating, yelling, and all of those things. I remember every child is not the same. So she didn't have that ability to even speak. If she was not even seeing her mom, that would have been a different thing. This is a child that was seeing her mom regularly, but she couldn't speak up. She also did not have a parenting advantage in as much as even her mom or her parents as well, could not, as a child, as a parent, they could not even notice, my child, something is not right, something is not right, they could not notice her mood, they could not just notice anything about her, and at the end of the day, it cost her life. These are things that could have been avoided if there was a parenting advantage. I would have also looked out for talk about Ezra, the Paystack guy, the co-founder of Paystack. But I'll leave her. I'll leave his. I'll leave him for next week because I want to talk really well on that aspect next week. So we'll leave that one. So that is it. Now let's see those that had parenting advantage. Now let's see Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook. You know, as a child, his father himself taught him programming. He owned a laptop. As at then, he had a laptop. Do you know what laptop? To have a laptop then, he had a, he had a laptop to himself. As at then, do you know what that means? Having a laptop then is like having a private jet now. He had a laptop then. As if that wasn't enough, his father had a lesson tutor that was teaching him what? Computer, just computer. Why? Because he had a parenting advantage. And you are surprised who he's become today. Parenting advantage is what will determine what your child will become tomorrow. That is just it. What about Aliko Dangote? He's born into the family, that Tata family, one of the wealthiest, if you know that Tata, or if you're in Nigeria, like one of the wealthiest trading families in Kano State. His grandfather, Alhaji Sanusi Dan Tata, was one of the West Africa's biggest merchants. That's who his grandfather was. And you're wondering how or where his entrepreneurial skill came about. As at then, his uncle gave him. I had a video of. I was about to make the video before my camera packed up, so I'm still going to make a video of him. His uncle gave him loaned him $3,000 as at then. Do you know what it means for you to loan a child like you want to start a business and you're saying, do you know what that means? Do you know the opportunity that money will give you? And apart from that, not just giving him money, they already prepared him. Remember, he came from entrepreneurial family, so he has already seen it, he has experienced it, so he's fully prepared. They didn't just wake up one day to just give him that $3,000. No, they have seen the skill in him, they've prepared him, and they knew he was already ready. And then they gave it to him. With that money, he used it to start his importation of sugar and rice. And you are wondering how he has blossomed in business today. It's not fast fresh, parenting advantage. Also, how about Femi Otadola? Femi Otadola, everybody's big billionaire, 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 billionaire. You think the billionaire just woke up one day and suddenly became a billionaire? No, he didn't. A parenting advantage. His father was former Lagos State governor. At some point, he dropped out of school. And guess how much they gave to him? According to his book, his father gave him 250,000 pounds, not naira, not dollars, pounds, as at then to start up a what? To start up his business. Do you know what that means? $250, then $250,000. And do you think his father will just wake up and just hand him that kind of money? No, he has trusted him, he has prepared him. He has trained him already. He has given him that advantage. He has prepared him. Remember last week we talked about childhood, the power of childhood, and we said when childhood is, the preparing your child, there is a divine preparation towards to adulthood. And what do you prepare them for? You prepare them for skills, problem solving, and everything. So for him, his father already prepared him before he gave him that money. He already trusted him with that money. He trusts that he was gonna be able to manage that money. He didn't just suddenly wake up without preparation and just give him that money. And today he has one of the biggest oil trading business, How about David Oyedepo? David Oyedepo's junior, the son. This is a child that was exposed to public speaking right from when he was small. Why? Because of a platform. As a child, perhaps, or you join the choir, join this one, do this one, take this office and take this fight to the next office. As a child, his father is going to office. His father will take him and while he's at office, okay, take this file, go to the next office, tell him to pass this file, tell the secretary. As he's doing all of those things, this child is learning. He's training him. Before you know, okay, you take the closing prayer tonight, you take offering tonight. You do this, you do that, assigning tasks, assigning responsibilities. Before you know, this child is learning. Before you know, he's grooming him, he's training. Remember, we said it's the foundation, isn't it? The foundation you give to your child, the edge you give to your child. He was training this child. And today, when and today you can see the platform the child had. Do you know what it means for him to preach in his father's platform as big as that as Winners Chapel Church is? He had a platform to preach, to stand on that. Do you know the privilege? Do you know what that opportunity? Do you know the doors that platform will give to him? Now imagine comparing him to a child. Maybe he's divinely called, to do ministry. But then maybe his parents they know nothing about ministry. There's no platform, no nothing. Imagine the years it would take that child to grow, to grow, and everything, even figuring it out. Do you know how long it would take him, more like a child that already have a platform and then just fly easy. So what platform, what opportunity, what advantage are you giving to your child? He had leadership responsibilities, strong spiritual grounding, access to high quality education. He didn't just go to anyhow school. He had a good quality education. So today I'm asking you the same question I'm asking myself. What advantage or what advantage will your child have because you raised him? What advantage will your child look up to you one day or any and say, Mommy, thank you, Daddy, thank you for raising me? What platform are you creating for your child? Or are you that parent that will say, anyway, what will be? Do you really believe in that statement? Where what will be actually be? With what will be will actually be? Do you believe in that platform and that statement? What platform are you laying down? Are you preparing for your child? What platform are you giving to your child? Or are you intentionally creating for your children? Or are you going to leave them to just, let them, it's okay. When they get into adulthood, they figure it all by themselves. You know how long it's going to take them to figure it out? If I had um, if I had parenting advantage, do you think I would be where I am today? Do you know how long it took me to be able to figure out what I'm doing? What about the courage to even start it? Doing this life, do you know how long? Do you know the procrastination? Do you know how long it took me to start this life? Do you know how, unlike someone that had a platform already, like my dad, he didn't have a parenting advantage. He didn't have it. So imagine he had a parenting advantage. It would have been so easy. He's a man, he didn't go to school. And then his first priority was all his children must go to school. He must go to school. But if he had a parenting advantage, he would go to school. Fine, we all went to school. We went to the best school, best school. But again, best school is not just enough. He didn't have the advantage to be able to understand how I learned because I struggled. It was in my family among my siblings. It was perceived like I wasn't the clever child. And was it really true? It was because he didn't really understand how I learned. I had all the lesson teacher. I would go to school lesson. I have another teacher waiting for me at home after school. I would go to Saturday. There's the one Saturday lesson, maths and English. There was all the lesson, but then I was still struggling. And it wasn't as if I was dull. I wasn't dull. It was just, they just did not understand how I learned. That's what parenting advantage can help you. We'll talk about that in details. Now, let's see your child. See your child as, now let's think, okay, see a child as a marathon. As a marathon. Some children, they start the race, very malnourished. They start the race very confused. They start the race with very, very low self-esteem. They start it with, without support, without guidance. They're just, figuring it all. And then compare it with a child, that is starting his own race, with tools, with training, with encouragement, with, high confidence. Do you think they will have the same results? No, they won't. They won't. They won't. So which one, as a parent, which one would you go for? Or which one do you think will go further? Now, the one with the advantage, the one that will go further is the one with what? The advantage. Now, let me remind you, as a parent, the same way I am reminding myself. I hope you can hear me. I hope you are still with me. Please share this live session. As I'm reminding myself, your child's greatest inheritance is the advantage you will give to them. I'll say that again. Your child's greatest inheritance is the advantage you will give to them as a parent. Now, let's see the different forms of advantage every child needs. First is emotional advantage. How how is your child emotionally? Is a child emotionally stable? Do they understand their feelings? Can they even name their feelings? Do they know what they feel part time? Many of our parents, a lot of us, our parents did a lot of damage when it comes to our emotional intelligence. Many of us we didn't know how to regulate our emotions. And that's why our world, our society is what it is today. Everyone is angry, everyone is shouting, fights everywhere, governments, everywhere. Because we did not learn how to regulate our emotions, because we didn't learn how to manage our emotions. Any little thing we are flaming up, like, the other day, a parents, in school were just, I'm going to tell them I'm an African parent. She was just breaking, doing all, saying all manner of things, just because your child was, maybe another child hit your child, and then you are going there to create a scene. Is that the right thing to do? Is that the right thing? Is that what you should be known for violence, for anger? Are there no better ways, you can respond to it? Someone sent me a video recently, and then I think it happened in Nigeria. A teacher, flogged the child. I don't know what the child did, but the teacher flogged the child. And you need to see these parents, mother, father, you need to see their reaction. It was bad. It was bad. They dealt with the teacher. In fact, if it was here in UK, those parents, they would be in big serious trouble. Is that a better approach? What are we teaching the children? What are we teaching them? To be reacting, and all of this, trace it down to our childhood. We didn't have that advantage of emotional intelligence. We didn't have that advantage of learning how to regulate our emotions, our feelings. And it starts with a child is crying. The next thing is, it's okay, you don't have to cry. Is it because of that small voice? It's okay, don't cry. Big boys don't cry. Come on, man up. When is a child fall and it's okay, let him cry. If you feel like crying, let him cry. If you feel like crying, you should cry. You feel like singing, you should sing. You feel like express your feelings. That's how you regulate. That's how you learn how to regulate your emotions or manage your emotions. But when all of this is not, before you know, you make a mess of your emotions and everything. And also another form of it is, okay, how about, okay, let's see, what's her name? Hannah in the Bible. If she was not high, if she didn't have emotional regulation, or if she didn't have emotional intelligence in her, when her rival, what's her name? Finaya, Abi Penaya, when she was frustrating her, making mockery of her, do you think she didn't have the strength, the physical strength to fight her, to tell her, come today, we'll dig it. Today, I'm going to deal with you? Or do you think she didn't have what it takes to even, use words to run her to? But she knew that Penaya was not her problem. She knew that if I face you, you will rob me of my blessings. So she just left her. She knew she was not her problem, and she left her. And does that mean that she did not cry when she needed to cry? Read it. She cried when she needed to cry. She was distressed, at every point in time. But imagine if she didn't cry, she didn't express all of those emotions. What do you think will happen? It would have affected the way she will react to Penaya, her rival, and at the end of the day, we now rob her of her blessing of having her son Samuel. So she was highly, when it comes to emotional intelligence, she's one of the person we talk about. She had that emotional intelligence. She was able to regulate her emotions. And the same thing like faith. Everybody claiming faith, faith, faith. How are you as friend? You will know that outrightly this person is not well or this person is not fine. But you'll be seeing them, they'll fine, it is well. I didn't say it is faith really. So Bible says the substance of things hope for, evidence of things not seen. Not seen. Does it mean you should not acknowledge what you're feeling? Does that mean you should not acknowledge the fact that you are not well? Acknowledge it. Does that mean you shouldn't acknowledge it? No, you should acknowledge that you are not well and then be trusting God that He's going to perform His miracle in your life. That is what faith is. At first, acknowledging it, acknowledge that yes, I'm not well. Acknowledge, oh, I'm going through this challenge. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to express your feelings, because it is in, bottling it up, keeping it, not expressing it. Before you know, depression will set in. It will not lead to other things. Children are now on antidepressant drugs. Children are depressed 15 years, 14 years, 13 years, they are depressed. Why? Now let's say another one is, remember we're talking about forms of emotional parenting advantage. The second one is educational advantage. You see, when it comes to education, education is a core key for African parents. Every education is a core key, is a big deal. But then are we putting pressures in our children all in the name of education? Like for me, I'll say at some point I was pressured. I felt pressured as a child. You know, I would attend school lesson, home lesson, Saturday. It was just too much. And at the end of the day, I was not a dull child. It wasn't as if my grades, like I was not having all the A's, but I'll have maybe a few A's. But so my dad, he still don't, he didn't feel like I was meeting his educational expectations or something. So he bombarded me with loads of lessons here and there. In fact, he started with my writing. He didn't believe, or he was not, for some reason, he felt my writing was not good. Why? Because my other siblings, they will always comment best handwriting, best, all of those. But me, I didn't get good best thing. So he felt, oh, you're writing. And then my dad will be buying me notes, books. I'll be copying. Imagine copying what's it called? Newspapers. He spent a lot of money on that. You know, if they understood how I learned, my learning style, my temperament and all of that, do you think it would have been better, isn't it? I wouldn't have gone through all of those struggles. I wouldn't have. But because they didn't understand it, and the same question, do you understand how your children learn? Do you know their learning style, their temperaments, the child you are raising? Do you even know the child? Do you know the child? How well do you know the child? Before my son go in, before he starts school, they used to have house visits. The teachers will come to your house. And by the time I was telling the teachers, this is my son, this is like they were like, wow, what like I had to tell them, I was telling them things that hmm, they were wowed. Let me leave it like that. They were wowed. My daughter, I know she's a visual learner. And because I understand it, I know how she learns. Her learning is easy for her because I understand the child I'm raising. She's not struggling with her learning. It's not sure. I understand her temperament. I know her temperament. I know her love languages. I understand it. But imagine if I don't understand it. Perhaps she will be struggling today. But none of them are struggling because I understand how they learn. And then it makes it easier for me. It makes it easier for them. And the next, and also, are they always consuming everything you tell them hook, like, and sinker? They'll read a book, they'll just consume it. Do they even think out of the box? Are they just consuming? A is apple. Can they think that this A, can we not think? Are they thinking? Why is this A apple? Is there another word that can replace that apple? Can they think out of the box? I always tell my children, every time you finish a book, think about that book. Take that book and say, if this book was yours, how will you rewrite it? How will you design it? And then they will tell, oh, if this is my book, this is how I'm going to do it, this is how I'm going to do it, this is how I'm going to. That is them thinking out of the box. That is them thinking, not just consuming what they've read. How do you want to put it in your own words? You know, do you understand their strengths, their weaknesses? Understanding all of this is you giving your child the gift of a parenting advantage. How about social advantage? Like things like communication. Can your child express themselves? Can they express themselves, like communicate really well, or is it the one you call and before not really slang, and they'll be using all of those slangs and everything? Is that the kind of child you're raising? How are you teaching them to communicate? My children, before we go to bed every night, before our story time, we do 10 minutes presentation. And that presentation is come and tell me everything you have done, everything about your day, tell me. And you see when they're expressing themselves, when they're talking about it, you know that even everything they did in school, the way they will be expressing it, explaining it, you know that they didn't just consume, they understood what they were saying, what they were taught and everything. And at the end of the day, we'll give ourselves feedback. And at the same time, they're not just learning communication, they are learning how to take feedback. They are learning because sometimes the feedback, oh, you need to see my daughter, she's so good with feedback. When she's giving the feedback, they are learning so firm with it. They are learning to take feedback. They are learning that, I can make mistakes sometimes, I can fail sometimes, and they are learning that failure is okay. If you fail, it's okay. It's okay to fail. And failure does not make it does not mean that's the end of you. No. Failure is a stepping stone to success. So them learning, imagine them now learning this before they will get to 10 years, 20 years, 15, 20 years. How do you think they will be? How do you think they will be? Also, are you giving them confidence, building confidence in them with the way you talk to them, the way you express yourself, maybe in public, you address them and all of those things in public? Do you just do it to save face, or because people are there, you don't want them to see you as a bad parent, and then you're just, harassing your children or embarrassing them or humiliating them, all because you want to, you want to, is it create impression or impress someone? Is it about people or about you and your child? you know Also, are you helping them to learn how to build healthy friendship? Because these things you need to teach your children. If Regina, if she learns how to make healthy friendship or healthy choices and decisions, do you think she will end up as beautiful as she is, as young as she is? Do you think she will end up being a sixth wife to a man that is old enough to be her grandfather? Do you think she will end up like that? No, she wouldn't. Also, modeling respect, kindness, empathy, and all of these things. Teaching your children all of these things is you giving them the gift of what? A parenting advantage. A child with social advantage grows into adults who can navigate people and opportunities. Another form is value and character. Value and character. Are you disciplining your children? How well are you disciplining them? Yesterday, I did a video on, helping. The video was about, what's it called? Delayed gratification. And it's about teaching your children, your male child especially, helping them, training them to be able to discipline their flesh. Because like I said in that video, temptation will come. Temptation will come. There's so many issues with sexual harassment among boys, and all that. All these things, they will come. But how well are they trained? How well are they prepared to discipline themselves? Have you trained them to the extent of, to say no? Do they have the ability to say no? Because he will definitely come. But if he comes, what happens? Will they be able to resist, or they will eat to it? So discipline, how well are you disciplining them? And discipline is in the things you do with them day to day, on daily basis, little things. All of these things is what add up. Integrity, they're watching you. How do you react to things? How do you treat people? You're doing transaction with people. How do you do it? They're watching. Responsibility, can they take up responsibility? Can they carry out a task and finish it successfully? It doesn't have to be a big task. It can be as small as get yourself ready, from get yourself ready, choose the clothes you want to wear and all that, or, prepare your lunch today. Could be little things. And then gratitude, all of these things, problem solving, and so many. How about spiritual advantage? Spiritual advantage. Are you praying for your children? Are you praying for them? How well are you praying for them? Are you leading them to know God for themselves, or it's just about you dragging them to church 247? You must follow me to church today. Are they just going to mark presence, or they are going there to know God for who He truly is? Also, are you praying for them, like I said? Or and then are you because your prayer, even if they go astray, your prayer can bring them back again to God, because they are God's seed. They can't go astray, you know, they cannot. Also, How you are you modeling these things to them? Are you modeling a Christian lifestyle to them? Are they seeing you? Are they seeing Jesus in you? Because they have to see it in you before they too can get that conviction that, oh, truly, yes, Jesus is someone to be served. If they don't see it, they will not be impressed. They will not be interested. But they have to see it in you as a parent. Remember, they learn from more from what they see you do than what you say to them. Also, exposure. Exposure. Are you giving them the gift of experience? Do you take them out? You take them, do they travel? You know, the things you do, the work you do they see you do your work? How do you do it? Do they know how you do your work? Just and during the what's it called? During the half term, my son he followed me to my place of work. I went with him. Well, my mom, is this where you work? I said yes. We did everything together, and he had fun. He said he saw it. And if I'm talking about work, he already had that experience. He knows what it's like. He's not against it, or I'm not just telling him, but he has felt it. He has seen it. He has experienced it. Every day your child is watching Baba Black Sheep. Have they seen the fish and the sheep? Do they know the animals in the Black Baba sheep? All of those things. Can you not take them to the can you not take them to see, to have that experience, see it, live animals themselves? You're going to buy first, you're going to the first station every time you tell, oh, I'm going to the first. Do they even know how it looks like to go to the phone and buy food? Do they know what it's like? Exposing them to all of these things is you giving them a parenting advantage, because the truth is they are learning from all of those things. Because as you go there now, you are telling them, you're talking to them, communication is going place and it's taking on. The transaction, how you doing it is the decision, oh, am I buying 50 pounds? Am I buying 100 pounds for it? Or how much do I have? All of these things, they are learning, they are watching you. And before you give them a parenting advantage. Now, let's see financial mindset as well. Are you teaching them savings, planning, contentment? You yourself, are you contented with what you have? Are you being pressured with the things you see out there with society, everything, so many pressures out there. Christmas is coming. Many people are now, there's so many pressures. They want to impress people. They want to buy gifts and all that. Are you being pressured? Because remember, your children, they are watching you. And then are you modeling financial discipline? Are you living within your means, or you're living above your means? You know, teach them the difference. Are you teaching them the difference between wants and wants? What they really need and what they desire. The difference between, oh, I need this, or I want this. Are you teaching them that? Also, are you teaching them to create things, not just, oh, mommy, I want this, you buy. Mommy, I want that, you buy. Mommy, I want that. Buy. Are you teaching them to create what other people too can buy? Are you helping them to make use of their brain, to think, problem solve? What problem can they solve? What problem can they solve? So all of these things, are you modeling abundance to them? Are you modeling abundance like that abundance mindset, or like poverty mindset, management, complain, nag whine? Are they the things you're modeling to them? Now let's see. Children rise to the level of what they are exposed to. And that's the truth. Every child will rise to the level of what they are exposed to. So what are you exposing your children to? The choice is yours. Now, how do you give your child a gift of a parenting advantage? How do you give your child a gift of a parenting advantage? To give a child the gift of a parenting advantage, you must first focus on 5 pillars, and the first is you. Remember, I always say parenting is first about you before your child. You can't give your child what you don't have, isn't it? You cannot give your child what you don't have. So the first thing you can give your child is the gift of you. And that is the gift of knowledge. You must be knowledgeable to be able to give your child the gift of a parenting advantage. Mm. Like I said, how well do you know your child? Before you know your child, you need knowledge, isn't it? If you don't know, if my dad had knowledge, he will understand that, oh, there's what we call temperament. He will understand that I'm a phlegmatic, I'm not choleric. He will understand that my words of affirmation is what's it called? Words of affirmation is word of um out of service. yes, acts of service is my love language. He will understand it. He will know that I'm a visual learner. But because he didn't know understand all of these things, it was a bit of struggle for me growing up. At some point I felt maybe they did not love me, or maybe my mom did not love me. Why? Because she was not speaking my love language. She did not understand how I wanted to be loved. She was loving me her own way, but I was not feeling it. I was not feeling it. I felt she didn't love me. I felt she didn't care. Imagine if she understood how I wanted to be loved, or if she understood how my love language. Do you not think it would have made it more easier for me and for her as well? So how well do you know your child, their learning style? Do you know your child as a visual learner? Do you know them as an auditory learner? Do you know what to do for an auditory learner? Do you know how to what to do for an or for a visual learner? Understanding all of this requires knowledge. And if you don't have the knowledge, you'll be handicapped. You don't know what to do. You will not know what to do. And at the end of the day, you not give your child the gift of a parenting advantage. So for you to give your child the gift of parenting advantage, you must seek knowledge. You need knowledge. That's the first stage. Like your child, they are developing. My son now, between he's 4 years old, I know the behaviors I should expect from him. So if he's exhibiting all those behaviors, I'm not going to be surprised because I already know. I'm already looking out for. In fact, if he doesn't exhibit them, I will be worried as a mom. Why? Because I have the knowledge already. I should understand that this is the unexpected behavior. This is what I should be looking out for. At this stage, this is how I should help him. This is what he needs at this stage. This is what he doesn't need. These are the kind of questions he should be asking. So I already know because I already know beforehand. I prepared myself with knowledge. And now, this stage, we're not struggling. It's a strong way that is supposed to have frustrated me, but I am not. My parenting is going on well. I know what to do. If there's I know how to manage it. I know how to manage it. A lot of people complain, oh, strong with children, strong with their I have a strong with son, but it's not a big issue because I have the gifts, I have knowledge. I already prepared myself. I'm preparing myself with knowledge. It's me giving him parenting advantage because I'm not ruining his self-esteem. I'm not ruining his esteem because I did not know how to manage his emotions or his power for what is called for power for autonomy. He wants something, I know that, oh, okay, I give him choice because I want to satisfy his need for what? Autonomy. For me to be able to do this is because I have knowledge. I understand what it means to satisfy the child three basic psychological needs. My child and my daughter, I understand, I know the power of need for relatedness, the need to feel seen, the need to feel heard, the need to feel loved, the need to feel belong and all of that. So already prepared her. If she's come, mommy, can I have a hug? I'm not saying, oh, I'm busy. Can you walk away? Oh, excuse me, I'm busy and all that. No, I'm giving her that hug because I understand it. I have that knowledge. I know what it means for a child at that stage. I know that is what is expected of her. She's asking me some question. I'm not, come on, I'm not raising my phone. Where did you hear that from? Oh, no, no, because I understand the stage at which she is. So I've prepared myself already for it. Now, how about the gift or also and the second one is the gift of reparentification. Reparentification. I don't know if there's any word like that, but the gift of reparentification, all of us, every one of us as a parent, we need to reparent ourselves. We need to reparent ourselves. One of the greatest gifts we can give our children is the gift of healing. It's an advantage money cannot buy. Many of us, we had one form of trauma or the other. Our parents did a lot of service. None of us, many of us, we didn't turn like this world we turn out well. We did not turn out well holistically. We didn't turn out well holistically. There's always one part or the other, that was not right. So we all need to reparent ourselves at every point or at some point in our life. You know, if I didn't reparent myself, I don't think I'll be where I am today. I don't think I'll be thriving in my parenting today. I reparented myself. I did a lot of trainings. I had to forgive myself. I remember there was a time I called my mom, like, oh, mom, this thing you did, I didn't like it. This thing you did. I was crying. Those were healings. I was being healed because they were trauma. If I didn't heal from them, it would be a problem for me. And I will find myself replicating all those things unconsciously to my children. But because I healed, I remember she was saying, "Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, really?" Even she, I said, she was shocked because she didn't know. But it was a problem for me. It was a huge problem for me, you know. So healing, we owe ourselves that gift of healing. We owe ourselves, like I said, many forms, childhood trauma, managing angers. A lot of us, we didn't know how to manage our angers. Any little thing, we're just reacting, reacting. And it's not our fault. Honestly speaking, it's not our fault. It's the way we were brought up. We didn't learn. Nobody taught us that how to regulate our emotions. Nobody taught us, oh, you're angry, what to do, what can you do? Can you walk away? Can you take a deep breath? Nobody role played it for us. Nobody helped us practice it. And you wonder why society is the way it is. You see old men, they are throwing blows, they are fighting. You are wondering where it's coming from. It's coming from childhood. Impatient. Many people are not patient anymore. Any little thing, you can't just be patient for 1 minute. Management, complain. You see some people can complain. You sit with them it's there they're complaining about government, they are complaining about their home, they are complaining about complain. Trace it, it's from childhood. Trace it. You see, it's from childhood. It's coming from somewhere. She didn't just wake up to start. It's from somewhere. It's a trauma that she's not been healed from. Learning how to apologize. Many of us can't apologize. Saying sorry. In fact, it was a big issue. I had to learn it to say sorry. And if you trace it, it came from somewhere. Also modeling humility, working on your spiritual and moral life as well, self-discipline, all of these things. When you do have them, you give your child. When you heal from them, you give your child the gift of parenting advantage, breaking generational patterns. Understanding it, noticing it, identifying it. I was talking with a parent the other day, and the parents were telling me that he's noticed that in their family, the first the first girls always get pregnant before marriage. And as a father or as a mother, what do you do? And if he wasn't conscious, if he wasn't intentional, do you think he'd be able to notice it? He would not notice that it was a pattern. He checked, oh, first brother, second sibling, third sibling, fourth sibling. So he noticed it. And now that he's noticed it, what would you do as an intentional parent? You pray about it. You'll be praying about it. You counsel it. And not just praying alone. You will act on it. You now start preparing your children and then back it up with prayer. That's what parenting advantage can give to your child. Otherwise, you see that child or his female children, he will replicate the same thing if he doesn't do anything about it. You know. Now let's see the environment you create in your home. Your home, how safe is your home? How safe is your home? Is your home full of chaos, shouting, complain? Someone was telling me recently that her father complained, her father like their home. It was more of complain. There was no peace. Her father was always angry, so was always, you know, so what's your home like? And then are you encouraging communication and honesty? And then again, remember, a calm home produces a secure child. No child thrives in chaotic home. No child, trust me, no child thrives in chaotic home. Children thrives of yes, a calm home produces secure home. A chaotic home produces anxious children, and that's the truth. Now, what about exposure and experiences? Like I said, what experience are you giving to your child? You have a platform. Are you giving your children that gift of the platform you have by training them, by letting them know what you do? Get them along. You have a shop. Yeah, then come to my shop. They finish from school or weekend, take them to your shop. You sell. Let them see how you sell. Teach them how you do it. That is you giving them the gift of experience. You have a YouTube channel. They can help you set up. Like before I started this live, I was here with my son. He was checking, oh, mom, what is this one? What is this one? What is this one? You know, I was telling him that he should watch me or that one of these days I'll say, go and do the live session. And he was laughing. That is me giving him the gift of experience. And then skills, character development, And also consistency. You can't give your child the gift of a parenting advantage if you're not consistent. That's the truth. If you're not consistent, like I said, we go to bed every night with presentation. We do presentation first before we go to bed. We have been consistent for a very long time and we are not stopping. So imagine doing this for like, till they get to 15, till they get to, how do you think they will become? It will become part of them. They would have been really or deeply rooted in it. Why? That is what consistency can do for you. When you do something over and over again, it becomes part and parcel of you. Now, is it possible? Like this is the question someone asked me. Is it possible for a parent alone to give their child a parenting advantage? Like I'm a parent. Is it possible for me alone or you alone to give your child that gift of parenting advantage? The truth is no, it is not possible. It's not possible. You can't do it alone. Remember, we said it takes a village to raise a child, yeah? And that village is you first. You are first the village. You and I, we are first the village, and that village, that me is our environment, the environment we create, our home, the neighborhood, the school, the church, the community, society, and the world at large. And also the second one is what are these children, what are they exposed to? Like what books are they exposed to? The TV, the screen they watch, what are they exposed to? What the internet, you know, what are they on TikTok? What are they exposed to? What are they watching on TikTok and all of those things? So understanding it and also the other adults in their lives, like their aunties, their uncles, mentors, relations, all of this, when you put them all together, it will form your child's blueprint. When you put all of these things together, because you alone cannot, you still have other people. The environment is there, your child is watching. And that's why we tell parents that, look, you cannot choose a friend for your child, but you can intentionally and strategically choose an environment or create an environment where your child can choose their friend. Hi, did someone hear that? You cannot choose a friend for your child. You can't like, oh, you can't follow this one, you cannot follow that one down. No, but you can intentionally and strategically create an environment where your child can choose their friend, you know, that is what intentionality can do for you. That is why we say it takes a village. You can't do it alone. So when your child is exposed, like imagine the environment they are. All of you have the same values, all of you have the same vision, all of you are intentionally, raising your children, their children too. All of you are doing the same thing. You as a parent, you're doing the same thing, they too are doing the same thing. And then they will become friends. Do you think they will be easily influenced with other vices? No, they will not. And that is you being intentional. And that's what wisdom requires. That is what wisdom really means, you know. So you cannot raise your child. You can't give your child the parenting advantage alone. You cannot. You cannot. You need all of this put together. So that's why you need to be intentional with the environments where you live. What sort of environment are you living in? What's your environment like? Is it violent environment? Is it environment where people just do anyhow? They don't care and all that? So what environment? The other adults in your life, what are they doing? Who are they? Because whether you like it or not, they will influence your child. I remember there's a point will come where your child, there's a stage they will get to. You will not be like when a child is between maybe like 0 to 8, her mom, parents, they're still the first person they listen to, their role model. But as they grow, you'll not even be their role model again. It might be their uncles, the society, and all of that. So at that stage, what who would they be listening to, or who would they be looking at to for, or who would they be looking up to? So these are things that you as a parent can intentionally create. Let me run because of our time. And again, remember, you cannot choose. Okay, I've said that already. You can't choose a friend, but you can create an environment where a child can choose their friend. Now, why does this matter? I'm really rushing. The generation is facing, the generation you and I live in today is facing challenges that we didn't face in our time. Like a lot of people will claim, oh, I turned that way, I turned that way. You turned that way because the way it was then is not as it is. today. It's totally different. It's a different ball game at the moment. My next session is going to be attuned that way. So look out for that because I'm going to dwell more about it and why is we'll talk about it. Let's not waste time. Now, the generation is facing challenges we didn't face in our time. And what are these challenges? Digital problem or digital pressures, low attention span. People cannot sit down. You see a child cannot sit down for 1 minute, to just do their study or read their storybook, or they just can't sit down for a few minutes or an hour or so. They just this issue with the attention span. Even adults, they can't just sit still without being distracted with their phone or something. They're always on their phone, checking text message, notification, scrolling on social medias. And your children and your kids, your children are watching you. Then social comparison, all of these things is out. The academic stress, so many stress on our children. We want that pressure. We want them to have all the A's, everything excel, which is good. But then these treasures and this pressure, does it really worth it? Imagine beating a child or raising your voice at a child because you want them to learn. Does it worth it? And at the end of the day, you ask yourself, the pain or the instability or the low self-esteem is going to cause your child. Does it worth the A's you want your child to have? Does it worth the A's, the parallel A's you want your child to have? We're talking about emotional intelligence earlier. Does it worth it? Will it worth it? Because think about it, all the skills that we all need to try. It's not in maths and English now. It's not in it. So at the end of the day, we really now worth it that because you want your child to learn, you now beat them, embarrass them, humiliate them, frustrate them, but because you want them to learn or you want them to have a perform well academically. Will you worth it? Ask yourself that question. Will you worth it at the end of the day? Now, also another challenge is online predators, identity confusion, identity confusion. I saw a guy. We did a training around March this year, right? This child in fact, I was so proud of him. I was very proud of him because we were the only blacks there. The way he was answering questions, the way he was so confident. And guys, just 3 weeks ago, I saw this boy. I was almost in tears. I was in tears because I could not recognize him anymore. He has painted his nails, his lips, he has made braid, was already like, oh God, identity confusion is a lot of pressure. The high depression rates, children are going into depression, it's mental illness, mental health illness, so many things out there. Peer pressures, is on the increase unlike before and all that. So in conclusion, I want to keep the time today. In conclusion, I would say in a world like this, giving your child a parenting advantage is not optional. No, it can never be optional. It means wisdom. It is wisdom. It's wisdom. Giving your child the gift of parenting advantage is simply wisdom. It's intentionality. Again, I ask you, what advantage will your child have because you raised them? Today, today's teaching isn't just about transformation or information. It's not just about information what is about invitation. It's an invitation to become the parents who give their child a powerful head start in life. And that is the gift of the parenting advantage. Remember, we said it is a foundation that we laid for them. It is what they have, what will help them become who they will be in future. It is what you do with them. The advantage you give them will determine who they will become. Will determine who they will become. The advantage I had was what made me become who I am today. You know. So what advantage will your child have because you raised them? What advantage will my child have because I raised him? I hope someone is blessed tonight. If you have, like I have, can you please put it in the comment section? Have you got any question? If you have any question, can you put it? Let's quickly see if there's any question. We can take it. I'm happy to take any question. If you've learned anything, can you put it in the comment section? What is your take home? What's your take home? What did you learn today? What was that one moment? What was that thing that hit you most? Can you put it in the comment section as we begin to round up? Yeah. The gift of parenting. I'm blessed. Thank you. The gift of your parenting advantage. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this live session with me. I am blessed. I'm blessed too. I'm blessed too. I have learned a lot. I've learned a lot, to be honest. I've learned a lot from this topic, the gift of parenting advantage. Next week, we're not having a session. Remember, we said 1 week on, 1 week in, 1 week off. So the next session, I think, is gonna be I turned that well. I'm not sure of the topic, but I think it's been on my heart, it's gonna be, and it promises to be very powerful and insightful, and I look forward to seeing you. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for doing this live session with me. Honestly, yeah, I don't think I would have been able to do it all by myself without you. So I really appreciate your time. It takes intentionality, to learn. Remember, we said one of the way you can give your child the gift of um parenting advantage is through learning. And being here, it shows that you want to be intentional, you want to give your child that gift of an advantage. I remember another thing we said was consistency, not just learning, putting in what you've learned, being consistent in it. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time and I hope you have a good evening. Thank you so much. Bye, and I'll see you all in my next live. Bye bye. Thank you so much. God bless you.